If you're getting close to retirement, here is how to calculate out how much income you can expect to receive from each investment per month or per year during your golden years. My name is Amanda Ryba. I've been working as a licensed financial coach and consultant for the past 8 years as of the day this video was produced, and it is my goal to illuminate to the world what wealthy people do with their money. And one thing all wealthy people understand is the calculations required to figure out how much income they can expect to receive from each investment. So let's dive in. The very first thing you're going to want to do is list out all of the investments you have. So that could be bank accounts, savings accounts, retirement accounts, mutual funds, stock, cash value life insurance, crypto, whatever it is, write it all out. And do not forget to include your spouse. So if you have dual income, list all of the accounts that you both have. Your second step is to list out how much you are contributing into each one of those accounts per month or per year. Your third step is to go through each account and figure out what's the average annual rate of return you've either been receiving or you could expect to receive in the future. Hint, this could be on an annual statement. And keep in mind, if you have money in investment accounts, that value is going to fluctuate. It's going to go up and down. Then comes the fun part. You have to figure out at what age you want to be done working because you have to, and you're only working because you want to. Ideal retirement age. And what you do is you take that ideal retirement age, you subtract your current age from it, and that is going to give you how many more years of working income you have to stash aside for your golden years. Now you just simply plug all those numbers into a compound interest or retirement calculator online, and there you go. Let's check out an example. In my opinion, one of the best tools to use to calculate out retirement income is MoneyChimp, and it's free. You can literally just Google MoneyChimp 401k calculator. They have Roth IRA calculators, they have compound interest calculators, and the 401k calculator can be used for a bunch of different types of investments. So here, what you would do is you'd put in your current balance of your 401k. Let's just say our current balance is $250,000. And your annual contributions. Some people are maxing out their 401ks, some people aren't. Let's just say that you're putting in $12,000 a year. And let's say that your employer is matching half of that. So let's say your employer is matching $6,000. And let's say that you are 40 years old and your goal is to retire at age 60. So what you do is you're going to take 60 minus 40, and that means we have 20 more years to contribute till retirement. Average investment return of a 401k, according to Google, is about somewhere between 5 to 8%. So let's be conservative and say 7. And if we calculate this out, this is telling us that our balance at retirement would be about $1.756 million at retirement. Now, we also have to take into account taxes with this account specifically. So with a 401k, it's great because it shows this little section down here where your balance is going to get carried over, and then it's going to ask for average investment rate of return. It defaults to 5%. I think that is a little bit bullish. I don't typically see a lot of retirement accounts that are averaging 5% because you want to be in things that are a little bit more conservative when you're in the years where you actually need the money. So I would say let's just be conservative and let's reduce this down to 3%, meaning that you're earning 3% interest on average every year in retirement. And how many years do you want to live for, right? So if you're retiring at age 60, I would hope you could live to be 90 years old, right? So we could say, let's assume that we're going to live for another 30 years. Income tax rate. Again, this is something that is up for debate. The question to you is, do you think taxes are going to go up or down in the future? I'll give you guys a hint. We're only $34 trillion in debt and counting as a country as of around the time I'm making this video. So average probably tax brackets review. You also have to consider state taxes. So if you live in a state like California where the tax is really high, you want to calculate that in. A lot of people think that they will be in a lower tax bracket when they retire because they'll need less money to live off of. That is also super subjective. I usually either leave this the same at 25% or I might bump it up. It really just depends. So let's just say for sake of easy math, we're going to leave this the same. And then you click calculate. And then MoneyChimp will tell us down here that your annual payout is estimated to be at approximately $87,000 a year, subtracting taxes, which would be about $22,000. That means you would be left with about $65,000 coming in income every single year over 30 years from just this one account. Now, again, what you would want to do is do this for every single account that you have. I'm not going to show you a calculator for every single account. Again, MoneyChimp is a great tool. They have a lot of different calculators that you can use, but this is a good one. And just keep in mind, any account that you have that has a taxable liability to it in the future, you've got to subtract out taxes. And you also want to be mindful of the accounts that are tax-free, which would be like your Roth IRAs and your cash value life insurance policies. Those you do not have to subtract taxes out of. But now what we need to do, after we have figured out how much income we're going to expect to receive in retirement, is we want to copy that and bring that over to our inflation calculator. Here, you guys can literally just Google CPI inflation calculator, and it will take you to this page. And all you do is you put that dollar amount in this very first line, and then we have to estimate 20 years ahead, right? So we mentioned we're going to retire in 20 years. So let's change this first date to present date. And let's change this bottom date. I always just work with the same month, so we're just gonna work with January, but I subtract 20 years just to see what's going to happen with inflation. So if we're expecting $65,000 a year in income, that's today's dollars, right? What would that be worth 20 years from now? Calculate. And they're telling us that we could expect $65,000 today to have the same buying power or purchasing power as $39,600 today. That is a drastic difference. That's about maybe 60%, right, is what you're gonna get. So definitely keep this in mind when you're planning for future retirement income. Inflation is a very, very important thing that you need to calculate. Now that you've done that and you've got your income numbers and you're comparing that to the inflation calculator, do you like what you see? Is it enough income coming in to live the lifestyle that you've always dreamed of in your golden years? If it is, great. If not, it might be time to increase what you're saving. And if you can't do that, simple solution is just increase what you're making. Now, if you don't know how to do that, I'm not going to dive into that in this video. That is not the point of this video. You can check out the videos I have linked below that will tell you more about that. But the goal is to make sure that you're setting aside enough per month or per year to reach the goals that you want to have in retirement. Hopefully you learned something today. Drop a comment below of your favorite tip or trick that you learned in this video. Please share this with anyone you can think of that's getting close to going into their golden years. Let them know that this is a great video that's going to share with them how to calculate how much income they can expect to receive in retirement. And of course, I love it when you stay till the end. Give me a high five below once you've watched this. And I look forward to seeing you back again next week on YouTube. But in order to do that, you've got to click that subscribe button and hit that bell to turn on notifications so that you know when my next video gets released. But tip, it gets released every single week on Tuesday. I look forward to seeing you guys next week.